How is GDP per capita calculated? Have you ever wondered how economists measure the economic performance of a country? One key figure they often look at is gross domestic product per capita. So, how exactly is this calculated? Let's break it down. Gross domestic product, often abbreviated as GDP, represents the total market value of all goods and services produced within a country during a specific period, usually a year. To find the GDP per capita, you simply divide the total GDP by the population of the country. The formula looks like this. GDP per capita equals total GDP divided by population. This calculation gives us an average economic output or income per person in the country. It's a useful way to gauge how prosperous a nation is. However, economists often prefer to use real GDP instead of nominal GDP. Real GDP adjusts for inflation, making it easier to compare economic performance over time without the distortions caused by changing prices. Now, why is GDP per capita important? It serves as a measure of a country's economic prosperity or standard of living. It shows how much economic value is generated for each individual. But here's where it gets interesting, especially when we look at different economic systems like socialism and mixed economies. In socialism, the focus is on equitable distribution and social welfare. While GDP per capita provides a snapshot of average economic output, it does not reflect how wealth and resources are shared among the population. For instance, a country might have a high GDP per capita, but that doesn't mean everyone is benefiting equally. Socialism aims to address these inequalities through collective ownership and redistribution policies. On the other hand, in mixed economies, where market forces and social policies coexist, GDP per capita can indicate overall economic capacity. However, socialist principles reminded us to consider how that capacity benefits all members of society, not just the average individual. So, while calculating GDP per capita is straightforward, understanding its implications in the context of socialism and mixed economies requires looking beyond the number itself. It's essential to consider factors like income equality and access to essential services to get a fuller picture of economic well-being.